The NFL Combine in general is something that I am not a huge fan of. It's tough for me to get all excited about the Combine. I understand people that do because there's no football to talk about. And so this is what we get to talk about. And I understand that. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't get excited about the NFL Combine. And in fact, if you love it, good for you. I watched a ton of it. I loved the coverage. Obviously, Daniel Jeremiah was fantastic. Rich was fantastic. Charles Davis, everybody, Schrager, everybody that was involved with it. I love the insights that you get and some of the interviews that you get. But as a practice, I think that the Combine is outdated, quite frankly. And I think the way that we view it from the outside looking in is not necessarily where the value is held. Let me just start with this. I'm sick to my stomach when I see guys doing things that have no translation to what they are going to do on the football field, and then they get hurt. Namely, I can't stand that we put linemen, interior defensive linemen, even big edge rushers, offensive linemen, through some of these drills that, quite frankly, don't translate at all, and then we wind up seeing an injury. Andrew Vorhees comes to mind. He's got an ACL injury that pops up. Wanya Morris, the offensive lineman, he looks like he goes down with a hamstring because he's trying to be a sprinter for 40 yards. Come on. What are we doing? If you were to change the Combine and linemen just ran 10-yard bursts, I would understand it because I was like, short area quickness, I understand that. Explosiveness, a 40-yard sprint. What are we doing? And do we really care whether he runs a 5.4 or a 5.1? I don't. And I don't think any of the savvy decision makers do either. So things like that are very hard. Having said that, how about the warrior that Andrew Vorhees is, right? Offensive lineman for USC, tears his ACL, comes back with a brace on, straight legs it, lays down on the bench, and does more reps of 225 than anybody in the Combine. 38, I believe they got him. He did 39. They took one away because of the he didn't get full extension. It's like, okay, we get it, Hardo. 38 reps on the 225. How about that? So good on Andrew Vorhees. I love that story going for it. The last thing I'll say about the Combine is now we see these guys and they're getting injured, and that impacts their ability to go to the next level and earn a job. It just does. And I immediately think to myself, okay, so you're telling me doing drills in your underwear is more important somehow than actually playing in a bowl game. Because we're all fine with we get it, man. These players, no way you should play in a bowl game. Oh, but it's fine to roll out there in your underwear as an offensive lineman and sprint for 40 yards and tear your hamstring? Come on. So I think that some level of a reality check should enter into the equation. What is the Combine actually for? Let's not get enamored too much with all these on-field drills because, quite frankly, they're just there to confirm small snippets of what you see, generally speaking, on film. Is a guy as explosive in the Combine as he was on film? Check. Okay. We can do that without running through all of these drills. And I personally believe that should be the way that we should go. So what is the Combine for? Well, there is some value, and there's some strong value, in particular for these franchises, and they fall in the interviews and medical category. You get a chance to sit down with these players and really understand how they operate under pressure, what type of people they are, what type of answers that they'll give. Are they somebody that you want in your organization? Those are vital elements of the scouting combine. The medical can be vital elements, and these guys are poked and prodded all week long. That's vital as an information gathering process for these organizations. So I understand why it continues to happen. I just can't stand that we've made it more about the on-field drills, which don't translate. They just really don't. Some of them do here and there, but when you look at it from an overarching perspective, I just can't stand to see some of those guys get injured doing things that they would never do on the football field. Let's watch their film and evaluate them as football players, not as, hey, this guy's played football his whole life. Now for 3 months, he's going to train to jump around and run around in his tights. So there we go. There's me as the old man yelling at the clouds, because I know a lot of you guys love this stuff, and I get it. Listen, I get it. I really do. I just can't stand to see guys get hurt in that setting.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here, College Football on Fox.